Whew. All right. This video is dedicated to all of my students that just celebrated the 15th year in where our local church has done what's called the HYM, which stands for Oreb Youth Ministries Christmas Coffee House. And the beauty of it, that we celebrated como los Latinos celebramos. And that was estilo quinceañera. I want to share some thoughts and want to say thank you to many of you that have made this come to life. And just a closing thought that I hope you understand to take away and why they wanted to have this quinceañera themed Christmas coffee house. So let's get into it. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Noan El Boricua here at Fuel Pasión Podcast, where we immerse ourselves dentro de cultura, we grow in our faith, y como siempre, we make those conexiones. And I hope that if you find any value in this video, or if you're listening to this via podcast, I hope you can subscribe, like, download. It would really help out the channel. And if it's here on Instagram, we'd love to know as well. So, I think one of the biggest challenges that we always have when we're giving back to community is how do we connect with our students? How do we connect with the current generation and future generation when it comes to understanding growth for them, but more importantly, giving them opportunities to be creative, to be entrepreneurial like, and more importantly, to really make meaningful connections. So, this is where, as I've served here for a couple decades now at Oreb, I've had the chance to lead so many different students through these past 20 years, now 21 years now. And one of the greatest things that I'm really grateful for is just the entrepreneurial and just like these ideas of like wanting to do something different, right? And maybe you can relate. Throughout the years, well, really the past 15 years, every time we've done something related to Christmas, Navidad, throughout this holiday season, we always wanted to do something for the community. And hence why Christmas Coffee House was born. And our students throughout the years have done so many different themes, from Home Alone to ugly sweaters to, as of late, the quinceañeras. But the list goes on. We've had luau's, we've had kind of the OG Christmas, just like Hebrews, and a play on words. A lot of different things that we've done. And I've been grateful because really the success of this has not only been our students, but really each and every one of you that's a parent, a volunteer, someone that just wants to give back to our students. I think when I think about Fuel Pasión, like what fuels my passion to serve others is the beauty of seeing other people that want to serve others. And that's why I'm grateful, because in these past 15 years, we've done exactly that. We went from trying to be a free, like 1 to 2 drinks, unless we have more supplies of people able to come. We've had open mics. We had so many of our kids and just friends that have come through, and to let it be spoken word, to music, to singing our traditional last song, Feliz Navidad. But I think for me this year, when we thought, so this was an idea from last year that we said, hey, we're celebrating 15 years. Why not make it like a quinceañera? And thankfully, with our students, we started planning early in this year, and we started trying to really hone in on how can we really connect this to the birth of Jesus. Because at church, and for many that celebrate Christmas, the birth of Jesus is a big part of the holiday season for us in Navidad. So we wanted to see how can we really tie this back. Now, I'm grateful for our creative director, Anita Lopez, who really just put this all together. Grateful for all of the girls and our students that really thought of like using gold with like a green and black and white, things of that nature. It was really great. Grateful for the parents that threw down, because at any quinceañera, you got to have some really great food. So we had tamales, pozole, champurrado, arroz con leche, ponche. We had it all. And we had desserts, cake pops, fruit tarts, We had like mango, oh my God, I can't even think of the word right now. But tostilocos, we had tostilocos for those that love that stuff. It was just something that was very Latin influenced, and very central on just Latin American themed candies and desserts. I think that for me, one of the beauty was having one of our volunteers, shout out to Melissa, of connecting us with someone that has made an impact in this community in the South Bay and beyond. And Irene, soon to be, crossing our fingers, Doctora Irene, she has been a part of Sabor de Mexico and bringing just the festivity and the beauty and the cultura of dance. And we had all ages, from the youngest to the oldest, to be able to just present just different styles of dancing, folklorico to the boot, zapateando, I think, if I'm correct. I'm Puerto Rican, so you got to give me some grace. And of course, we had the Aztec as well. So it was beautiful just to see all of this come to life. And as you know, I want to also give a shout out to Natalie and Doris, Maria, to be able to uh, just bring a taste of coffee and really a baristas. And we always talk about what are some learnings. In the past, we used to do like blendeds, iced, and hot. And this time we took away the blended and we've only focused on hot or iced. What I didn't think about, and for many of us seeing this post, was that we should have had two more baristas to be able to cover that. So that was something that, it came to mind. And yeah, it was a really good time. I want to say thank you so much for those that gave monetarily, those that gave actual food items, but more importantly, for those of you that gave your time. Time is so valuable. The fact that if you're still watching this video, like that shows you how valuable your time is, and I really appreciate you. So I want to get into how I connected this. How did I connect a quinceañera Christmas theme to the story and the birth of Jesus? Can I read you scripture? Can I just show you guys my Bible? I don't know if it'll show it. It has my name on it. Yo, I've had this Bible, I think, for easily well over 20 years. So super excited. All right. I wanted to read the story that's found in Luke chapter 2. And it's a beauty in understanding what the shepherds and the angels encountered. So I'm going to read this, and it says, "And there were shepherds living out in the field nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, 'Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all people. Today, in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord.'" Now, when it comes to this 15th annual coffee house, and we gather together as a community, or maybe your families, you guys are getting together, it's important to understand the why we celebrate this season. And I think for me personally, right? Remember, Fio Pasión is like different culturas, our faith, and the conexiones. This is a blend of all three. This coffee house was very unique because of the fact that in our faith of celebrating the birth of Jesus, we celebrate it through cultura of dance and art within our Latin roots, as well as making the conexiones. So many alumni that have been through our program here came through, and we're so grateful for all of you. And many of you volunteered that are alumni, and some students are currently the ones working through this. I presented the following. In a quinceañera, if you've been to one, there's gifts that we give. What are some of those gifts? It could be a muñeca, it could be a ring, it could be a Bible, it could be a necklace, jewelry of any sort, a lot of different things. In the same way, right, as we present these gifts to the young lady or the young girl who's now becoming this young lady, in the same essence, metaphorically, I wanted to present this approach when it came to the quinceañera Christmas coffee house. And I wrote it down here, okay? When we think about the story, right, not just baby Jesus being born, but when we think about the story of the three kings or the Magi that traveled from the east to be able to meet this newborn king, there's these gifts that they each gave. And this is my challenge for each and every one of us. They each presented gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And they hold really deep significance. They hold this metaphor that's reflecting not only, their reverence for baby Jesus, but also the essence of his purpose. I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna get there. Now, what did the gold represent? The gold represented Jesus' kingship. It signifies his status as the king of all kings. And in our lives, my challenge is that we can offer our recognition of his sovereignty by placing him in our hearts and placing him first. And I think that's something that's really essential of this metaphor of this gold that was presented. One of the other Magi presented frankincense. Now, frankincense really symbolizes, and I don't want to geek out theologically, but it kind of signifies his divinity and the worship to God. Now, if you know historically, biblically speaking, in the Old Testament, frankincense was used in the temple as a form of worship, reminding us to bring our prayers, our song, our praise to him. And I think for me, it's like, how do we dedicate our time to thank God for what he's done for us? How do we take time to say, yo, God, I appreciate you looking out for me this last time? Second challenge. The third gift that metaphorically of this coffee house that I wanted to present is the myrrh. And again, like, this is something that's so dope when you kind of tie things together. And the myrrh foretells his suffering and death, as myrrh was commonly used in burial practices throughout the history and ages of the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. I think for me, my hope is these Magi offered this to Jesus. Just like we as families and friends offer a young quinceañera her gifts. They hold deep significance. So I'm going to simplify it for you. What have you brought to him? What gifts have you brought that have been given to you that you can present this season? And for those that celebrate the birth of Jesus, I think it's a great reminder. And I'm really grateful because I had a chance to be a part of this event. And yes, I was the point person. And yes, but this is a team effort because so many people gave their gifts. My hope is whatever fuels your pasión, that you could be reminded to be able to fuel yourself to give your gifts to the one who gave you the purpose in the first place. So I go back to that. See, there's purpose that God has given you and me. God has given you gifts and he's given me gifts. And it is our job, it is our duty to serve all the people around us at work, in your community, in your family, among your friends. We got to share that. So this holiday season, my hope is that you can reflect on that. My hope is that you understand the importance de nuestra cultura of faith and also the connections that we need. Look, a lot of times we feel really lonely during these times. I wish my mom and dad were alive. I wish my abuelita was alive because they were like vital people when I was growing up. And even I've shared it even through all the stuff that we've been through. That's one thing I really wish. But I'm grateful to have my family. I'm grateful to have my wife and my 2 young men that really give me that opportunity. So my hope for you this Christmas, and as you enjoy your Navidad, is that you remember to bring your gifts and your talents to the one and only. I want to say thank you for taking a chance to watch this and to get to see a different metaphor of this. I want to say thank you to HYM. I want to say thank you to Oreb. And I want to say thank you to all of those that have been a part of this year for our students. We got a lot of plans and a lot of projects. So I hope you guys can consider to always invest in them as you do all the time. And for those that watch, I hope you can check us out on Fuel Pasión Podcast. This is, for me, a bonus on what it is to have legacy. And I think that this legacy that we see within our Latin roots is so important because for many of us within Latin America, we celebrate this moment. Look, let's not even get into Dia de los Reyes. That's in January. But I got something for you guys on that one. But I just wanted to share that. I hope that you immerse yourself dentro de la cultura. I hope you grow in your faith. And I hope you make those conexiones this holiday season. Y más que todo, que pueden celebrar la Navidad con tus seres queridos. Como dice mi abuelita, Que Dios te bendiga.